What's up, guys and girls? I am Josh of J. Bauer Art. This is Back Talk with Bauer, and we're episode number 51. We're changing up the format a little bit, changing some things around. So we're going to do a nice little quick intro. You get the video, and then we start off the show. But yeah, we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the fate of Back Talk with Bauer. We're going to do some, on the second half hour, we're going to do some nerdy news, nerdy reviews. I've watched a couple of things and haven't been able to talk about them. But there's tons of stuff to chat about. We got a nice episode coming out for you. And a shout out to the awesome sponsors of the show, Kingdom of Comics. We will talk about them a little bit later in the episode, but let's get the show on the road. What's up, guys and girls? Josh, J. Bauer Art, Back Talk with Bauer. If you like any of the artwork here, if you're digging the show, you like my gorgeous, sexy face, or any of that good stuff, head over to jbauerart.com. You can find more about the show, find the art shop, all those awesome things, and a ton more. You can even check out my J. Bauer Art Batmobile. It is a 2020 Kia Soul that I have done up in complete Batman stuff, so please check that out. But yeah, so we're changing up the format of the show a little bit, trying to make it more entertaining and see how it goes. What I'd like to do is I'd like my name to go away so you can actually see stuff. There we go. So what I am trying to do is it'll be a full hour show still, but it'll be about 30 minutes. You'll get like the interview with whoever I'm talking about or talking to. Tonight, my guest canceled, so you'll be dealing with me the whole fucking night. I'm sorry. But if it's a normal night, it'll be about 30 minutes of interviewing whoever guest I decide to, decides to hop on with me and chat with me and all that good stuff. And then there'll be a nice commercial break where we talk about probably Kingdom of Comics because they are our number one sponsor here. And then also on the back half, the other 30 minutes, I want to get into just BSing about things that are going on in the current nerdy news, nerdy reviews, all that good stuff. If we've watched something, got into something, read a comic book, whatever it is, but kind of just get into some current events on the second half of the show. And hopefully it will draw some more attention and get some more people into it. So now I have to make sure I pay attention to right at that half hour mark, we do the read for Kingdom of Comics, or Jason will come and smite me because he is the king of Kingdom of Comics. But so yeah. You guys probably noticed that I haven't been around for a couple of weeks. I canceled. This is episode 51. Episode 51 was supposed to happen about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't even know. But I was having a really shitty week that week. My work was rough. Kind of getting frustrated, overworked, and a whole lot of things. And I just needed a break. And then last week I technically scheduled the break anyways. So I just took 2 weeks off and got a bit of a breather. So I hope you guys don't mind. I hope you guys, you got to take a breather once in a while. So I hope you guys are cool with that. But what's up, Terry MacGyver, all the way from Ireland? Thank you for popping in. Please, guys, if you're popping in, say hi. I'd love to see who's all on here. I saw Charity is in here. Good to see you, Charity. I hope you were able to show the logo off that I created, and she digs it. Hopefully we'll get things going there. What's up, Count Nunez, all the way from Holland? Yes, it's Holland now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. So why is the show called Let's Chat About the Fate of Back Talk with Bauer? Well, so for those that don't know, the show was created right around this time last year. We actually just celebrated, I want to say it was last week, we celebrated the 1 year anniversary of Back Talk with Bauer. I created this show right when the pandemic was hitting because here's how it was going. We were getting into, towards the end of March, things were getting worse, and we were looking into getting into April. And I had tons of stuff planned. I had tons of events, tons of live painting things, all kinds of stuff, everywhere, anywhere. It was a plethora of things to do. And slowly but surely, like everybody else, things started getting canceled. Oh, what's up, Eric Pabone? Good to see you, sir. Thank you for popping in. But yeah, things slowly got canceled one by one, and I went from pretty much having every weekend in April booked to nothing at all. And I realized that, you know, we weren't going to be doing anything for a good while. There wasn't going to be events. I'm not going to lie, I was really twitchy and scared shitless at the beginning of all this, and for the foreseeable like 4 to 5 to 6 months afterwards. So I realized I wasn't going to be going and doing anything. The art was becoming a burden. As you guys can see, I paint a lot, and it was becoming a burden and a pain in my ass, and that was kind of getting to me. So I did. I decided to create a show. I did one with Ryan Permison over on Instagram at the for the first episode. That's the last episode that only a few people got to see. And it was really fun. And I've always loved being on podcasts. I love going and chatting on them. I love being a part of shows. I love having the fun communication with people, causing trouble, and all the good stuff. Yeah, it started at some point, Kyle Nunez. I have no idea when I started painting. But yeah, it was this show was created to find a way for me to continue to talk to people, because I'm terrible at calling people and checking up on them and doing that things. So it's kind of a way for me to sit down and chat one-on-one with different friends of mine. I have been doing the convention scene for 7 or 8 years, or at the time it was about 7 years. And I know a variety of very cool, interesting people. I have met cosplayers, fellow artists, fellow podcasters, all kinds of interesting people. So I figured I can at least BS enough, bring these guys on, try to create a show and do something during this time that lets people know that people are still out there creating things, doing their thing, lets me meet some new people, maybe help my friends out as best as I can, and do something new, change things up. So what's up, Ryan? I was just talking terribly about you. I mean, lovingly about you. But thank you for popping in, sir. I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I started the show about a year ago, and it was kind of my way to ignore everything that was going on in the outside world, because that was the best way I could handle everything that was going on. Apparently, I'm a little bit more of a twitchy motherfucker than I thought, and I was kind of getting really freaked out with everything going on, because like many of you, never dealt with this in my lifetime. And so yeah, I kind of just buckled down at home. I went to work, I came home and did the show. Then we got in a little bit later in that time, and there was a big online event that some of you may know about, and I had some things went down during that time. Had a fallout with a group of people I work with, and I basically put a total kibosh to the art. I said, I'm fucking done. I ain't doing shit no more. Which I actually forgot about some of the stuff I was doing before then. I did not realize, I didn't realize how much I was live painting. I was doing like live paintings every Saturday for the first part of the pandemic and everything. But yeah, I kiboshed all that. And thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it for the happy 1 year anniversary. But yeah, after that falling out, and I called it quits. I called it quits on a lot of things. But I kept doing the show and focusing on the show, and put the art in the back seat for a while. So between the art and the graphic design, that's how I entertained myself through almost the entirety of 2020. And it was good. It was a nice way to reset the art stuff. I was doing that for 7 years straight, beating my what I felt was a dead horse, and needed something new to focus on. And the show was great. And the graphic design was going really crazy because everybody and their brother was becoming a podcaster to entertain themselves, not even just myself. And I created some stuff for myself. I created some stuff for Hanging With, Harlequin Arts, Cosplay and Crafts, some logos and stuff like that. And it kind of caught on for the first few months, and a lot of people needed a lot of stuff. And it was a good way for me to make some money, save some money, and not do the art stuff. I still got to be creative without all the BS that I have. So we get into the later part of 2020. The show's been doing well It was growing a little bit, had some watchers and some things like that. Podcasting has boomed. It was already too big to begin with, and it's become even bigger over the pandemic, which is cool, but also hard for all the other people. I've seen that shirt somewhere before. Yes, it's very familiar. My brother was actually sporting this shirt in a picture because he got a new kilt, and he was sporting the kilt and the shirt. I'm like, yeah, the shirt matches perfectly with the kilt, so very nice. But yeah, so we got into the later part of 2020, and the show's been doing well. And then I got the itch to paint again, and just started doing some stuff here and there, messing around. I don't even really know how I got back into it. I think the first thing I really remember wanting to get back into is it was Hourglass. Hourglass brought back their monthly art shows. Hourglass down on Ronald Reagan Boulevard, right down the street from me. Very cool place. If you're ever in the Longwood area, Central Florida area, check out Hourglass Brew and tell them that Back Talk with Bauer sent you. But they brought back their art shows. They had to cancel them for a couple of months. They brought them back and started doing them again. I'm like, okay, they were doing some cool art shows. Why not put in some stuff? At least I could paint something. And I think the first one was the Back to the Future show, which was in December of 2020. So put some stuff in because I had the itch again. So we get into the first of the year, and over this past few months, the art has picked back up. The graphic design has died, kind of. It's I don't know if it's dead and buried. Shout out to Charity, who just asked for a logo, and I did a really cool logo for her. But trying to juggle 3 things at once is a little too much, and that's what I'm kind of learning. For those and it's more than 3 things. So for those that don't know what all goes on in my life, I have a full-time job. I work Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30 p.m. And then on top of all that, I come home and I either work on graphic design stuff, I paint, or I do stuff for this podcast. So that's 4 things. I'm also married, so I have a wife. And every once in a blue moon, I like to relax. Not often, but I try to. So we get into this first part of the year, and I do a painting over for Hourglass Brew for their January show, which was the Star Wars one. The Mandalorian painting was there. It became a big hit. And over the past few months, the art has picked up a bit. I have been able to sell a hell of a lot more in the past few months than I have in years. And that it's original paintings. It's not prints. There's been some limited edition prints here and there, a couple little print orders here and there, which I greatly appreciate. But the actual originals are leaving. It's really nice, and it's been different. And I've been able to be a part of I'm on just this year alone. I'm 4 for 4 for the art shows over at Hourglass, and I'm actually 2 for 4 of selling pieces at Hourglass. The Harry Potter painting, if you guys didn't see it, my Hogwarts painting just sold right at the beginning of the show this month. And very first hour, the painting sold, which the person that bought it just found me on Instagram and followed me. So shout out to them. Thank you so much. I'll be commenting on your comment in a little bit. But the artwork has really picked up, and I am actually wanting to paint more and focus on that a little bit more. So that's where things get a bit interesting with the show. I love doing the show, but I've been doing it a year, and it has not grown much. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. The show has not grown much. I'm still getting about the same amount of downloads, which is great. It's around 4 or 5, maybe 10, between 5 and 10 every week between different episodes. And then each episode gets about 10 or so. I'm not, I don't watch it like a hawk. But I've been doing it a year, and there hasn't been much growth to it. And there's more growth in the art department. So I've already dropped the graphic design stuff a bit. I'll do it here and there if somebody needs it. I always need money. But right now, my mind and my focus is a little bit more towards the art. And I've had a bunch of conversations with a variety of different people, other artists, Brian Demeter. I've talked to Jeremy. I've talked to Eric Pabon. I've talked to Amelia, tons of different people. And they always ask me, well, what is the thing that you love the most? What gives you peace, and where are you able to just zone out and do your thing? And it's painting. It always has been. It's, in the right before the pandemic, the last year or so, like 2019, 2018, that wasn't the case, but I was turning it too much into work. And I have to learn how to say yes to a few things, but also say no to other things. Not overbook myself. Just do whatever I'm in the mood for. If I'm in the mood to paint a fucking X-Wing, I'll paint a fucking X-Wing. If I'm in the mood to not paint, don't paint. And just stick to things that really are kind of in my head and I just want to paint, and not paint stuff that, oh, this is going to sell. Oh, this is going to sell. So I think I'm going to shift my focus more to the art. But I also I don't want to give up this show completely. I still want to do Back Talk with Bauer. I still want to interview cool people. I still want to have the chance to sit down and interview people, or if somebody has something going on and needs an episode done out, or if Kingdom Comics has an event coming up and needs something talked about, or whatever the case may be, I want to have that outlet a bit. I still want to be a part of the HWWS WebTV network. But I think my focus needs a little bit more to the art side. So I'm still rolling around with ideas through April. I already booked almost all of April. The only date that is not booked is the very last week of April. Excuse me. So I'm going to leave that one open and probably take that week off. And my thought process right now is I'm going to do a show every other week. So that gives me a week of free time to go and do my thing, to go and paint, to go take a break. Because I got to say, this last couple of weeks has been nice. I just come home and I paint. Because that's the other thing you guys don't realize too. And this is with a lot of other creators. A lot of us are only doing this ourselves. Some people are awesome. They have different helpers. They have different backers and things like that. I'm one of the guys that does everything myself. I don't, Kayla comes out, my wife comes out and helps me for events, and she carries some stuff and things like that. But when it comes down to the social media stuff, the editing episodes, getting stuff out, trying to spread the word of everything that I do, and contact people, book guests, do this, do that, all the little tidbits of a show or an artist stuff that you have never even imagined, I do it all myself. And it has gotten to be a little too much. So let's see, a couple of comments here. Terry MacGyver says, that X-Wing looks awesome, by the way. I am still thinking I'm going to go with Along Came a Knock. I think that would be the best idea, Terry, because that painting is huge. And in the price that I gave you, I didn't even think about getting just the price of the shipping was just to send it to you. That's not even the price of getting the box together to ship it to you. So I would highly suggest go with the smaller painting. And I just don't know how well that painting is going to travel all the way to Ireland. I think the little one will be way better. So let me know when you're ready to pull the trigger. It's sitting down at the Kingdom of Comics right now. So I would say the sooner the better. But just let me know. And then Ryan Permison says, Back Talk with Friends. We got to keep doing that. So Back Talk with Friends has kind of died too. The Back Talk with Friends and Back Talk with Bauer is kind of merged. And that's where I was doing the every other week episode. One was interviews. The other one was the group things. I don't know. I'm always down to do them. So maybe if something comes up, or if we want to chat about something, or like another thing like the Snyder Cut comes out, or a big movie or something like that, I don't know. I have to tone down the show a bit. And I think right now, for the foreseeable future, it's going to be every other week. And maybe one week will be an interview and the other week will be a group chat. Because then we've got both. But yeah, right now it's just toning it down a little bit, because then, so like the week that's the show, I can take a Wednesday and do the show stuff. And then the next week, it'll be focused on whatever I'm creating at the time. Because I have hit a good mark with this art stuff, and people are actually paying attention, and people are reaching out to me to book things. That's the other big thing that's going on right now, is I have people contacting me to go do their events. It's not me bugging people. Oh, can I come and do this? Oh, can I come to do this? Something happened somewhere. I'm not sure where. awesome people sharing and posting and commenting and telling other people about me and getting my name out. I know how a couple of these certain ones came up, like the event that I just did at Orlando Brewing. Biggie, the owner and runner of Deli Fresh Threads, who has been on this show before, he actually gave my info to Orlando Brewing and said, hey, you should invite Josh to come be at one of your art markets. And they messaged me and said, hey, would you like to be a part of it? Sure, I'll come give it a try. I wasn't able to do it the month that they wanted to, because again, I'm trying to keep my life balanced. That is what I'm trying to learn in 2021 right now, is balance and do work and do equal work and equal fun. That is what I'm trying to learn. I'm not good at it, but I'm trying. But yeah, so I went and did the art market, and it was very cool. But it also reminded me a little bit why I'm not doing events as much. I love events. I love going to things. I love going. It's a love-hate for events. So I love events that are very busy and a ton of people are coming at me and talking to me. Even if it's just conversations, handing out some cards and stuff like that, especially if I don't have to put money in and I just go and chat with some people, hand some cards out and leave, not too terrible. But when the events get a little slow or there's not as much people as you thought there was going to be, there's a lot of me going, especially on a weekend night or a weekend day. It's like, I could be home at chilling, or I could be home painting, or Kayla and I could be going to a food place. You know, it kind of gets me back into, this is why I didn't do this stuff. So that's the other reason I have to keep some of the events limited, but I'm still trying to do some stuff here and there. So, but with going out to Orlando Brewing and doing that event, I sold a painting, which was awesome. The Marvin the Martian Duck Dodgers painting sold a couple other prints. So made a little bit of money there. So that was fantastic. Got to hang out with Babone and Jeremy from Hourglass, talk some shop and, communicate with some people, made some new artist friends, blah, 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 blah. It was great. But then the guy that was running that event and runs part of the brewery, he's like, hey, would you like to come and live paint at it's a Soto After Dark event in April? And I'm like, so I talked to the wife and she's like, yeah, if you want to go do it. And it's nighttime, so it'll be cooler, so that I won't have to worry about melting in the Florida sun. But I said yes. So I'm going to go in April 24th. I'm going to be down at Orlando Brewing from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. There's going to be food. They said there was going to be food and food trucks. So I'm like, okay, I'm in. But there's going to be food. There's going to be music, people, and I'm going to live paint there. I don't know what the fuck I'm live painting. So if anybody has some ideas, send them my way, because I haven't come up with something yet. But I'm going to go and live paint, and I'm going to have some of my paintings up there. And I'm just going to take the original artwork and try to sell the original artwork as best as I can. But there's stuff like that. I just got an email because somebody I worked with like a year or so ago actually gave my information to another brewing company that's trying to do some things on Thursday nights. So she just emailed me today, and I will email her back. Or I emailed her back, letting her know what I'd like to do and stuff. So that might be another opportunity that I can go and do. So we'll see. I'm trying to be a little more open to events like that when it comes to, because like Ryan just put, the world is slowly reopening and big things are in store for you. It's exciting. Hopefully we'll see. I will tell you one thing. I am not running to comic conventions anytime soon. The only thing I would think I would do, and it would not be this year. I will not do MegaCon this year. I'm not ready for that stuff. And, MegaCon is going to be weird anyways if it does happen in October. So they can get their weirdness out of the way and then hopefully do another one. A full-scale one next year or a bigger one next year. But when it comes to all the comic book conventions, I'm not running to those. I will go to MegaCon next year if Hanging With has their full setup to promote this show and promote the HWWS WebTV and things to that nature. And then, of course, I will be down at Sci-Fi Bartow because I love Sci-Fi Bartow, and I will be down there again. But when it comes to all the other conventions, the small ones, the big ones, all that stuff, I'm not running to any of those. I do not do well at those. Flat out, the last 2 years I was doing them, I was barely or not breaking even. And there's a decent amount of chunk of money you have to hand them. And for that to not even come back to you, you should be in my view, I should be able to throw a chunk of money at a convention and I should be able to double my money. That's really where it should come about. And yeah, you can go meet people, hand your cards out, blah, 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 blah. In my line, in my experience, you're not getting a lot of those people back. Maybe one. You spend $1,000 or $2,000 to go over there and you get one person to come back, maybe. So I don't know. It is a lot up in the air. Should be okay. Terry, it should be in next month. I think I've got everything paid up. Cool, Terry. Thank you. Yeah, just let me know whenever you're ready. I mean, it's sitting at the comic shop, so it's first come, first serve. But just let me know when you are ready. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. And Ryan Permerson says being a one-man show is not easy. It's not. It really isn't, especially when you're doing 3 fucking hobbies on top of a full-time job. And that's kind of my other problem over the past so many years. To an extent, I feel like I am still almost around the same spot when I started 7 years ago. And I don't feel like I have gone further, gotten more, and done more. I kind of feel like I'm just stuck and can't get out of it. In the past few months, I feel like I'm kind of breaking out of that barrier a little bit, but I'm doing things differently. I am not going and spending a ton of money to be at a convention where I'm going to get ignored. I am doing more things like the art shows at Hourglass. My goal right now for Hourglass is to have one piece of artwork, one painting in every show throughout 2021. I'm 4 for 4 right now. And the only one I was nervous about was there's a John Carpenter month in a few months. And I'm like, I don't know what I would paint for John Carpenter. I'm not a horror fan. I'm not into that stuff. But my wife went through the list with me. I was almost going to do something Halloween related, but then she said, Christine, the killer car. I'm like, I could paint the nice version of the car like I did my dad's car painting last year and just do the front and make it nice and pretty. So it's technically part of John Carpenter. But then if it doesn't sell at that place, because I'm not really a big horror thing, so I really can't paint something too creepy. If it doesn't sell, I can go and sell it to maybe a car enthusiast down the road. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to focus on things like that. Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. I haven't seen it or Big Trouble in Little China. I haven't seen it in forever, and I really couldn't come up with it. And I've been really wanting to paint a car for a while. I loved when I painted my dad's car. I loved painting this X-Wing. So I want to paint something like that. So I think it's going to be Christine from the Killer Car movie, because it's a beautiful car. I looked it up. It's gorgeous, and the front's fucking fun. So I want to see if I can do that again. So yeah, we're gonna focus on art shows. I've got art everywhere right now. That's where things are kind of changing too. The awesome folks at Kingdom of Comics, Jason and Paula. I have brand new artwork up there. Just changed everything out. One painting sold from there. I think you guys saw that. I just dropped off a painting over at Deviant Wolf Brewing in Sanford because they're gonna do a adventuring in the outdoors art show through the month of April. So I'm gonna be there next Thursday for the art opening. I'll take some videos and stuff. I also sent them an email saying, hey, would you guys be up for doing a solo art show? I have tons of stuff. This is still not all of it. I have 8 pieces down at Kingdom of Comics. I have 1 piece down at Deviant Wolf. I have 4 pieces technically over at Hourglass Brewing until I pick up the 2 that are done. The flower show is done. And then I also have at least 20 pieces or more sitting in this house right now that I could go and put an art show up. I mean, right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for sale sitting right in this studio that you can see. That doesn't count the other stuff on the wall. So I could fill up a whole freaking art thing. So I will be chatting with them on that. And then I'm going to do stuff like Orlando Brewing and try to do things like that. I've been talking to Jeremy about doing some live painting stuff over at Hourglass. I'm like, dude, I'm 5 minutes down the road. Come on, let's work together. Let's do a thing. We'll make it happen. So hopefully at one of the upcoming art openings, I will do a live painting thing there. I'm like, I'm here already. And usually I only stay an hour because I'm terrible at people skills. So I'll run away. I stayed 2 hours this past time though. So it was a lot of fun. Let's see. At least we got to hang out in Lexington Comic Con. Hopefully visit Florida and see you all. Yeah, man. And I love being able to see you, Ryan, over at Lexington Comic Con a few years ago. And who knows, maybe doing this route will open up some new doors where I can travel a little bit. Or maybe you can come down here. Hopefully HWWS gets big enough where we can all be invited to a convention together sometime soon. But yeah, so that is the current state of Back Talk with Bauer and all that awesomeness. So hopefully it didn't bore you too much. But yeah, the show's going to dial down a little bit. I got to talk to Garrett. I got to talk to Jason and let them know things of what's going on. Kind of give them a heads up. But yeah, we're going to dial down the show. But after April, you'll probably see an every other week episode. And then we'll go from there. And then if things work out and things, I'm also doing some personal things here. We're in the works of trying to get a house. So there'll be a new house, a new studio, all that crazy stuff. So if I dial back a bit now too, that gives me some breather room to go do the stuff I have to do for that. Cause that's going to be a fucking nightmare. I can't wait to do it because then I'll have a house. It's going to be a fucking nightmare. So with that, that is the end of the first half hour. I'm going to make a screen video, something or other for Kingdom of Comics here soon, I think. But we got to give a shout out to Kingdom of Comics. They are the official sponsor of Back Talk with Bauer. Thank you so much to Jason and Paula for supporting the show, supporting all that I do. And you can find them either at facebook.com/Kingdom of Comics Shop or kingdomofcomicsshop.com. They have an online store and everything for a variety of their different things, special stuff going on, special sales and things like that. Or you can just message them through their Facebook and go, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. They are 4320 South Babcock Street in Melbourne, Florida. The comic shop is gorgeous. Very nice and spacious, clean as hell. There's a bar in there. You can get some goodies. On Fridays, you can get the half off any beer with the purchase of a trade paperback or graphic novel. There's new comics, an authorized CGC dealer, toys, graphic novels, rare collectibles, pop statues, back issues, and so much more. I gave them 2 paintings that I really couldn't sell. I gave them 2 paintings to do a raffle or something, giveaway somehow. I gave them to those, so that'll be coming up soon. Jason and I were also talking about doing a team up situation where I go down there, have some of the artwork up, and do some like a live painting or something, or do some shit to cross promote each other. So that will be coming up. But yeah, go on there on Fridays for the half off any beer with the purchase of trade paperback, graphic novels, and there's tons of stuff going on that he sent me a picture of. So there's these bad boys right here. These are the Venom Build-A-Figure Marvel Legends. They run from $20 to $36. And the cool thing is, it looks like if you collect all of them, you can build a Venomized Deadpool. So yeah, these are really cool, really sharp. So you can add those to your collection if you're a toy collector. And as I am, let's see. But Jason and Paul, so like right now, if you head over to Kingdom of Comics Shop, you can get you can check out all my artwork too. My artwork is up there, available for sale. I just changed it all out for the new month, so you can get there's some big paintings down there. And the sale is not going on anymore, but you can still get them a good price. Tell them that Back Talk with Bauer sent you, and go buy some art in person, or at least go check it out and then buy some comic shop and tell them that J Bauer Art or Back Talk with Bauer sent you. And then also the other cool thing you can get is the Art Series Sorcerer Mickey Funko Pop, which is $20. This bad boy right there. Their directions are somewhere. But yeah, you can get this bad boy there. And then if you purchase this or the other ones I just showed you and tell them that Back Talk with Bauer sent you, either in person or online, you get 10% off of your purchase. So go and snag these, let them know that I sent you, and Kingdom of Comics will take good care of you. That is kingdomofcomics.com, and a shout out to Jason and Paula for all the love, support, and all that good stuff. Whew. Especially with these solo shows, I really got to have a commercial to take a fucking breather. So yeah, like I said, the format's changing a bit. The commercial's going to be at the middle, so hopefully I'll hook some people at the beginning of the show, and they'll stick around a bit. The interview will hopefully be good and interesting, and then we will be able to have some fun. But yeah, the second half of the show, I want to start talking, and I don't want to wait for shows. So I think having this blended show and having 2 weeks in between some stuff too might be cool. I want to start talking about current news, current things I've watched, and different stuff like that, and give you my input and hopefully the guest's input, whoever's in here. Since I don't have a guest, Ryan, Terry, Cal Nunez, if you're still in here, please give me some input on your guys' stuff so we can share it and get some other opinions on here. But yeah, so I've watched a variety of things over the past few weeks. Some news has dropped in the past couple of days that I want to talk about and chat about. And the first one is, of course, the one, the only Snyder Cut. Yes. So I'm probably going to say some things that people hate, but it's my show, so I don't care. And most people hate me anyway, so nothing new there. I could name you about 5. Anyways, so yeah, the Zack Snyder's Justice League has dropped. Yeah, I gotta see. Ryan just popped up Godzilla versus Kong. I'm gonna try to watch that this weekend. I haven't seen the first 2, however it flows in. I saw Kong, but I haven't seen the other ones. But I want to see Godzilla versus Kong. I just want to see them fight. I might just fast forward until they start fighting because I don't care about anything else. But back to Zack Snyder's Justice League, the one, the infamous. We've talked about it on this show a variety of times. We've talked about it upcoming. It's been building up for it's been in the talks for years now. It's been in the talk of being made for over a year. And it finally dropped on HBO Max a couple of weeks back. And I watched it. I watched it the very first night. I watched it all the way through in one shot. We watched, I think we watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the first episode. And then we watched this right afterwards. My wife actually sat down and watched it with me. I had seen the first Justice League. My wife says she saw it. I don't remember her watching it with me, so I don't know who else she would watch it. I gotta say, it was cool, but it wasn't as spectacular as all the mythos made it to be. If you didn't see the first one and you saw just this Justice League and all that, I think it would have been a lot better. I think it would have been a lot cooler. But I had a few problems with this. Very first getting into this Justice League, my first problem is why should I give a shit? The Snyders, as of right now, and even before this dropped, HBO, Warner Brothers, all those people that are in charge of things said this is one and done for the Snyderverse. The Snyderverse is dead or done with or whatever you want to call it. But you were going to get this one-off, this whatever he was doing, and then there's nothing afterwards. Okay, so why, no matter what goes down, what happens, whatever thing's exciting, you ain't going to get a payoff later. So I think that kind of dwelled my hopes for this or getting into it, because it's like, okay, yeah, that was cool. You did all these cool things. What now? Okay, well, DC universe or whatever we're going to call it, the cinematic universe, has no idea what the hell they're doing right now. They've got so many different movies and things talked about, but nothing's coming out. The Batman got delayed. We'll talk about that in a minute. But anything with Justice League is basically dead. The new Suicide Squad isn't even really that close related to the first Suicide Squad. It's kind of a mess. So there was that going into it. Let's see what else we got. Ryan Permison brings up my next part. Justice League was a lot of slow motion in the first half, but the second half was really good. There's a lot of slow motion. There's too much slow motion. You could sped everything up with the slow motion, and it would probably been closer to a 3-hour movie, which I think would have been a hell of a lot better. And with all the slow motion, I really think all the slow, like just random, stupid slow motion. Sorry, my pants are bunching up on me. But with all the random slow motion that didn't really mean anything, like Lois Lane setting her cup down on the police thing, all that slow motion took away from the Flash's slow motion parts. The only thing different between her slow motion and Flash's slow motion is Flash's slow motion had a bunch of lightning. And that really ruined it for me. Like every time, even my wife's going, dude, like, you know, we get to halfway through the movie and it hits another slow motion part. And she's like, what the hell? Like, and it really bogged down the movie and just made stupid points of a movie look like it was supposed to matter more when it didn't. And then even when you're getting into slow motion of battle scenes, you know, they did the big gun of Batman's Batmobile gun going off and the thing goes and drops and goom, goom, goom. It's like, could you please speed this crap up? Because I've already spent 2-3 hours watching this crap, and I don't need to see the bullets things. I don't need it. I don't need it. And some parts were cooler. I like how much darker it was, and it was good, but not as amazing as I thought it would be. I would be more into, and I think it would be cool if Zack Snyder got to finish this. I would be more excited to see part 2 because yes, there was a good chunk difference. There was better storytelling, better character development in Zack Snyder's version, but you still almost got the same movie. You know, the ending's a little bit different. I would have loved to see where we went with the apocalyptic scenes and the what really got me for the movie was the very last few scenes. Where characters were heading off right afterwards, and then that post-apocalyptic, which is easy for me to say, scene with Batman and Joker. So that would have been really cool. My other problem with this movie too is they hid nothing. Nothing. They told you Martian Manhunter was coming. They told you Leto Joker was coming. They basically gave you everything away. So when you're watching this, you're going, okay, yeah, that's cool. I knew he was coming. I knew that was coming. There was no surprises. The only surprise was where they put that post scene or that apocalyptic scene with Joker and the Joker and Batman's conversation. That was cool. But other than that, meh. Let's see. Good job by Zack Snyder in making a 4-hour movie not feel like 4 hours. Still didn't really do anything for me. Steppenwolf was really good though. Yeah, Steppenwolf was cooler. Still a little annoying and still, I don't know, something was missing from him. It did go relative. It didn't feel like a full 4 hours, but it's still like, to me, it still felt like a good while. Like halfway through or about the 3-hour mark, I'm like, okay, this could be done. But again, not terrible. It was cool. I will tell everybody, and not like I have much of a voice in everything, but you MFers that are typing in release or restore the Snyder Cut on everything, you need to chill the hell out. My God. You got your movie, sit down and shut the hell up. You know, let them make the other things. Now, I will say, it would be really cool if we got like, because we're getting into the Flash movie that's going to have like time travel, multiverse stuff, and all that things. So you could really have Joss Whedon's version and Zack Snyder's version both exist. It's just two different universes. And wherever the Flash ends up, you know, you could pick a little bit from both and go, here you go. This is now the continuity. But we'll see what happens. There's a lot between now and when that Flash movie comes out, if it comes out. You know, if they make a JL2 the focus on nightmare scenes with Batman and Joker and others, yeah. And I've heard some interesting tales and what would have been the movies. I've heard some stuff from Zack Snyder. I've listened to different podcasts of what his second and third movie would have been, and it sounds really cool, but it sounds a lot more cooler than what happened in the Snyder Cut. So, but moving on, we've got lots more to talk about. Let's stick in the DC universe right now. This is the movie I am waiting for. This bad boy right here. And this is very cool. It dropped a couple days ago that the Batman, the film with Robert Pattinson that got held up until I think early next year, the Batman is now going to be set on Earth 2. So it'll be its own realm. I think that is fantastic. I think it's genius. I love it because I want everything else that is currently fucking DC to stay away from the Batman. That trailer that they dropped, late last year or so, was fantastic. I cannot wait to see this movie. I think Robert Pattinson's going to blow it out of the water. And just the feel of the movie, I think it's going to be that good. I think it's going to be a very different DC film. I don't think it's going to be whatever these last few, even Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut, the other Justice League, the first, just a lot of these other movies. I think it's going to be its own entity, and it's going to be dark, but in a good way for Batman. And I am so happy that it's going to be on its own little Earth and have its own little universe. So nobody can mess with it. We don't have to see anybody from anything. And I cannot wait for this film. As soon as they drop that, I'm like, yes, I am ready. Let's make it happen. I will go and I will pay all the monies to see this film. Batman, the Batman will be set on Earth 2. So I am looking forward to that. I don't know if they finished filming it or not. I'm hoping they did. I want to say, if I remember correctly, it's supposed to come out in March now or early next year. So I'm really excited to see that. I hope it's as good as it looks. I do know, I am impressed that they barely had anything of that filmed, very little filmed, and they came out with that badass of a trailer. Whew, come on. So, the Batman is coming. Let's see. Bam. What else do we got in here? We got all kinds of things. Well, not all kinds, but the next big deal. Let's jump over to Marvel because we got... And just to let you guys know, if you guys are into the show, and I know most of the people that are watching right now do their own shows, so they have topics to talk on to their own. But if you're a fan, I know I've got some podcast listeners that just the audio versions. If there's something in the weeks that you want me to talk about, to go over in the news, or you think you want to hear my opinion about, or anything like that, if anybody gives a shit about my opinion, message it to me. Let me know. Tag me in it. Send me some links. I would love to talk about whatever you think would be interesting to chat about. I didn't open it. Damn it. Here we go. And then no. There we go. So we got to talk about Black Widow. I've been waiting for this one to happen. I think it should have happened sooner. I don't know. I'm very curious on why they pushed back the date. The date was actually supposed to be sometime in May of 2021. But within the past week or so, they announced that Black Widow is going to be delayed until July 9th, I believe. Let me double check. So I'm not... July 9th. Yeah, so they pushed it back to July 9th, but they are going to premiere it in theaters and on Disney Plus at the same time, same day. I think that is the smartest move. Hopefully in July, we will be a little bit closer to opening up even more. I tell you what, Florida's almost completely open. Florida don't give a shit. But I know other states are still more on lockdown. I definitely know, like California, I listened to Fat Man Beyond with Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin, and they're still pretty, they're getting more open, but they're still a bit on the more lockdown side. So I definitely understand pushing it back to, in that aspects, to have more theaters opened up, to have more people hopefully comfortable, vaccinated, and ready to go to a movie theater. I would tell you what, if this would have dropped in May in the movie theaters, I don't know if I would be jumping right to a movie theater. I don't know if I could stand sitting in a movie theater with a mask on for 2 hours or so. But I have been dying to see Black Widow for a while now, because I wanted to see how they pulled this off. Even before all this shit went down, Black Widow was supposed to be the first thing of Phase 4, and it's been pushed back. And now I love when there's a set plan, especially in movies and stuff, and then something happens and all the plans get moved around. And I love how you see how it changes. And we've already experienced WandaVision. We've already experienced Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and things have been moving around a little bit here and there. So now Black Widow will be the third thing that comes out. No, fourth thing, because I think Loki's going to drop before this now. But they're right now you're getting on both because some people, some stuff comes in from Black Widow into later things. They got lucky with some of the other stuff that they have now, and it's not popping in here and there. But Black Widow, it has to come out. It has to be seen to continue these storylines. So I'm really excited to see Black Widow. I cannot wait to see how it entails into the backstories of stuff and the future stories of stuff. Something in Black Widow has to go into the future of the MCU. Why would you come out with just a basically prequel sequel movie if it's not a big, it doesn't change something or add something to what's going on in the future? So I am extremely excited to see Black Widow. We'll see what we're like in July. I will probably, if I'm vaccinated and everything's good to go and the theaters are a little bit more open up, I will probably go see it in the theater. It might be the first film I go see in the theater in forever. But yeah, I'm very happy they at least gave us the option to stream it at home. I will pay that $30 happily. I'll pay that $30 right now. But yeah, we gotta wait until July 9th. So just getting closer and closer. Black Widow is still 10 years too late. It depends on how they do it. Marvel has their set storyline, and I really think it's going to. I see Black Widow playing in almost how WandaVision did. WandaVision gave you stuff from the past and not changed the stories, but added to things from the past, especially the Age of Ultron, made that movie even better from the context that's in WandaVision. And then you go forward and it's added more stuff. There's a whole bunch of shit that can go down after that now too. So it fed into the past and into the future of the MCU. And I think this is where Black Widow is going to play too. We're going to get some answers on some more stuff from the past. Maybe change a little things, add a little bit more to the MCU history. Maybe get some stuff with Thunderbolt Ross. There's a lot of play that they can play with this because they have this 10 years of history. There's tons of history, but there's still a lot of blank spaces that they can go, oh yeah, well this was going on. Oh yeah, this is going on. And this is supposed to be happening during a time between two movies that we don't know what was going down. So it's a little late, but it's going to be epic. It's got to be. And especially now, I'm ready for it. So yeah, let me drop that out. And Garrett and the family are getting vaccines. So good job, guys. I'm if you're doing the 2-step one, get ready for the 2nd-step one. It dropped the bunny on her tush. So good for you guys. I will be getting mine at some point. I'm waiting for the 1-shot one. I am deathly afraid of shots and needles. Kind of scarred when I was a kid from my doctor who was a dickhead. So I really hate needles. So I got to go like this when they do it. So if I can just get one, I will go for just a one. But yeah. And that is not me saying that you have to go get one or any of that bullshit. Do whatever the fuck you want to. I don't care. I'm going to go do my thing. You do your thing, and everybody shut the fuck up about it. I do not push anything or on anybody. I want my life to get back to normal, and I want my wife and I to be able to go and drive around and go to freaking lunch and have find new places to eat and come the hell home. So, they're going to go right through your arm, GW, with you being the old pop. Does it count as 2 shots if they go in one side and out the other? I don't know how that works. But yeah, one last thing we'll talk about real quick. It is the next streaming show that I am extremely excited for. If I can remember what buttons I'm supposed to hit. Here we go. It is the one, the only Loki series. Now, my wife my wife and I, this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the thing that keeps my wife and I together. We do not agree on a lot of movies or what to watch or shows or things like this. We're usually watching different things.
We agree on nothing.
We agree on nothing, as she just popped in her head and said. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe is, we have been watching it. We've been together almost 15 years now. And the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a little over 10 years old. So we have this has been a part of our relationship for years now. And then when the series have come out on Disney Plus, she loved WandaVision. She was hooked instantly. And now these Disney Plus series, every Friday, her and I get together, we sit down and we watch the episode, and then we go off on our separate ways. I go to paint and everything. So it's kind of a cool way to have that one thing that we watch together. So we did WandaVision together. We are currently doing Falcon and Winter Soldier, which she's loving too. She really loved WandaVision. I didn't know if she would like Falcon and Winter Soldier as much, but the chemistry between Falcon and Winter Soldier is awesome. And yes, the sarcasm. If you keep popping in, you're going to come on the goddamn show. Then get the hell out. Fuck you too. I love you.
I love you too. I love you.
So the new Loki trailer just dropped. Bunny is a huge fan of Loki. That's her number one. Get the hell out.
No.
Get out. I'm done with you. Yeah, she's dancing around doing the Loki dance apparently. But she is extremely excited, and so am I. I am really excited to see how this plays out in the storytelling of everything, because this is going to be a crazy mess of a show. It's time travel. He looks like he's dealing with fixing some time travel messes up. He's basically being pointed out, and looks like he's getting a good chunk of the blame of the time heist. And we're also going to bit of bad guy Loki. It's not the reborn, refixed, or whatever Loki. So I'm really excited to see where his character development goes and what they do with him. And I just hope this is the show. So WandaVision was the creepy show, and the one, what would you call it? The thriller, a little bit of horror and things of that nature. Then we got Falcon and Winter Soldier as the action-packed action movie, blow shit up, fight people, shoot some guns. And then I think Loki's going to be the twisty, crazy, time craze show that just throws everything out the window. So I am extremely excited about Loki. I cannot wait for it. And it'll be that one more little bit of Marvel stuff that we get before a movie comes out. Thank God for Disney Plus, and shout out to Disney and Disney Plus for putting these shows out early and not making us wait any longer. They have helped get through the later part of this pandemic, and it's nice to get back into Marvel, because we went like a freaking year without Marvel stuff. My God, it was terrible. But yeah, so that is it for the show. Let me know if you guys dig this new format, the 30-minute kind of interview thing. Today it was just me rambling about the fate of the show, the nice break in the middle, and then 30 minutes of doing all the, talking about what I'm into and nerdy news and reviews. That might be the name of it. I'm not sure, because we'll see. But yeah. And through April, we're going to have the next 3 weeks, or next 2 weeks, we're going to have episodes. And then I think I'm going to do an every other week thing and take a week off in between. I hope you guys are cool with that. I hope you guys support what I do. I want to keep doing this show. I just got to pull back a little bit, and I want to focus on the art. I got to hit why this iron flat. People actually want my shit. So I got to go paint some stuff and go sell some stuff until that dries up. That could be tomorrow. So who knows? But thank you everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you're just catching this show, you can find this show at Back Talk with Bauer. There's a Facebook page for Back Talk with Bauer, so go check that out. I am on part of the HWWS WebTV YouTube channel family, so you can find old episodes on there. I'm also dropping throwback episodes on my YouTube channel when I remember. Again, way too much stuff, and I do it all myself. If you like any of this artwork, It is all for sale at jbauerart.com. Just click the shop tab. There's tons of stuff up there. If you do not see it up there and you saw something that you want to purchase, let me know. That big ass X-Wing painting is for sale. It's $500 plus shipping and handling. But if you live in the Florida area, I will meet up with you because it's 24 by 30 or 24 by 48 inches. It's almost as tall as I am. I'm going to do a video actually right after this for TikTok so people can understand how tall this thing is, because they don't get that. And yeah, so everything you can buy at jbauerart.com. You can also click the merch tab. You can purchase the best of Back Talk with Bauer. Any of the shirts that I've designed, I may toss up a couple more designs up here sooner or later. I've had some ideas for some shirts. And then, yeah, if you're in the Central Florida area and you know of a brewery, somebody like that, that has some open space on the walls that has like nothing and could put some artwork up on the walls, tell them about me. Show them some of my work. I am trying to get the artwork. I still have tons of shit here. I want it out in the places so people know that I make artwork and trying to get it out there. So please check out all that. Back to or jbauerart.com. Shout out to Kingdom of Comics again, another amazing sponsor of the show. Thank you to GW Pomichter, Ryan, Terry, who else popped in? Kyle Nunez, a bunch of other people popped in right at the end here. Thank you guys so much for popping in and checking out the show. I greatly appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Find Back Talk with Bauer on your favorite podcast app so you can listen to me on the go. Other than that, I will catch you guys next week. Later.